Welcome everybody to the channel, and we have to discuss the Carl Anthony Towns trade. My fault. Carl Anthony Towns was traded from the Minnesota Timberwolves to the New York Knicks for Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and I believe it was a Houston Rockets first round pick. I forgot what year it is. So makes me sit back and think. It took me a while to make this video. First of all, when it happened, I was asleep. Woke up to the news. That was about 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, but I was busy getting ready to go out to a different city for the day, and then I'm just now getting into it. That's what I do. I'm a little slower, so I have to listen to other YouTubers' thoughts process on the trades and what everybody was thinking at the time period, and had to sit back and relax and think myself before I made this video. So let's talk about it. So I'm gonna go from the let's go from the Timberwolves side of things. Let's go for the Timberwolves side of things. So getting Julius Randle added to this team. First of all, he's coming back from an injury. He was out. He did not play in the playoffs at all last year, but he's coming back from an injury. What is the max version of Julius Randle that we're getting? You're getting pretty much 22 to 24 point per game score. Let's say 10 plus rebounds. It gives you about between 4 or 5 assists a game. But we also getting a guy who likes to take a lot of jumpers. He likes to settle a lot. He likes to take threes. He likes to do that stuff on the offense side of the ball. He likes to do that. He likes to take a lot of jumpers. He takes ill-advised threes, in my personal opinion. Watching some of those playoff games from the past, especially when he got to New York, and watching his game in general. Yes, he's an all-star. If you want to know what tier, he's an all-star. He's an all-star tier. Usually he'll be the third best to a championship team, in my personal opinion. But defensively, he lacks a lot defensively, whether that's because he doesn't want to, or the lack of trying, or whatever is the case is, he's not bringing nothing to you defensively on that side of the ball. So adding that to the Timberwolves team, and I'm looking at the Timberwolves team, I'm thinking, wait, why do we make this? Why did you guys make that trade for? Um, the first year with the Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns thing, they had to figure that out. And then this past season that just ended, you guys figured it out perfectly. You got to the Western Conference Finals. Usually, a team that can get to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since the KG era, usually you kind of run a team back to see, especially with the development and the chemistry that you guys just built over the past of this past year and so, and how deep you got into the playoffs. Usually, you run it back and you try it again just to see if you are really there, or is there another piece that you need to add, or something of that nature. You need to do something, and instead they decided, no, we're good. We're gonna go ahead and get off of Karl Anthony Towns. Now, I think from the money side, I understand because you have to pay him pretty much a max contract to do this, and now you off that money. But now I question this team in general now because Julius Randle. I think Julius Randle is a worse offensive player than Karl Anthony Towns. I think his fit next to Rudy Gobert is going to be very questionable, in my personal opinion. And if it took Karl Anthony Towns and Karl Anthony Towns and Gobert, and how long it took them a year to get to understand their roles together, I'm assuming it's going to take another year for Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert to work together, in my personal opinion. So I don't understand what was the purpose here. I don't think you're maximizing Anthony Edwards at his fullest potential. I know Rudy Gobert's first year there, I think he was saying something about the spacing on the floor was bad. So you got Julius Randle, who's really not that much of a floor spacer. He can space it a tad bit, but not out to the 3 point line like Karl Anthony Towns, in my personal opinion. So what exactly is the what's the thought process behind this? We fixed the Mike Conley thing because you got what is it, Robert Dillingham. That's cool. Anthony Edwards, 22, 23 years old. Perfect. Um, Jaden McDaniels, young wing who's going to continue to develop and keep getting better in his role for the championship team. Perfect. And then you have Rudy Gobert, who I think got what we got like two more years, 2 to 3 more years left on his contract. But then behind him, you got Nas Reed that can also step in and take over that if whenever necessary. So now, once again, that power forward position becomes a big time question mark. And I know the easiest way is to have Nas Reed to come in and take some minutes away from Julius Randle. But my question is now: is Julius Randle even going to plan on pretty much putting any effort into this season? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. Is he going to be putting the effort in here after being traded from the Knicks? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a big question mark. I really don't like the trade for Minnesota side of things. I really don't. Now Dante coming off the bench to add into that elite guard rotation that they're gonna have. I think that's good. I think that's wonderful to have him. And apparently, reports said that he was really wasn't happy with the New York Knicks or something. I think that's BS. I think he did fantastic last year. I think he averaged what was it, 15 points a game or something like that. And then in the playoffs, he plays really good. That he can get a nice little contract whenever his contract did come up. So I'm really confused as exactly what's the long term plan for the Timberwolves now, and if money is the situation that's stopping them from continuing their team, then we're gonna have a trouble moving forward. In my personal opinion, we're gonna have a lot of trouble moving forward, especially if the GM is that much concerned about saving money instead of building a championship level team. In my personal opinion, but if that's my personal opinion on the Timberwolves side of things. I just don't know if he's that worried about his money like that, where the team looks like they could compete, and then you're going to get rid of certain players just so you don't have to pay. That's kind of a tough loss. Now I understand that I was saying in my Timberwolves video that eventually in the future you have to move on from one another, but I didn't think it was going to be this soon. This is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. This is crazy. I don't like the team. I mean, I don't like the fit. I just don't like the fit. For the Knicks side of things, for the Knicks side of things, I guess they needed a center because Mitchell Robinson will not be back at the beginning of the season. I think I heard somebody say December or January or something like that. So you needed a center. Well, they didn't try to go get a center in the off season this past off season. I thought there was some names that you could probably potentially look at. Well, honestly, you just need a guy to rebound the ball and play defense. I mean, that was it. That's was it, and they didn't do that. So they went ahead and traded for Karl Anthony Towns. Now I think on the offensive side of the ball, I think the team should be good. Jalen Brunson, he's going to get you probably 25 plus again. Then you got Mikal Bridges that can get you 20. OG can get you about between 15 to 20, and then Karl Anthony Towns, he's good for 20 to 25. So I think the five people in the starting lineup, I think that's fine. I think that's good enough. However, the bench takes a hit without Dante. I think he's still going to have Josh Hart coming off the bench, is what I'm assuming he was coming off the bench, or he could be started. I'm not too for sure exactly what the rotation could potentially look like. If Josh Hart's coming off the bench, that's good. That's a hustle. That's a rebounder. That's a guy that can hit his threes. He was put on the spotlight a lot throughout the playoffs, especially in that 76ers series, and I think he stepped it up big time. His rebounding was amazing. However, if we're being honest, outside of him, it's a lot of question marks and a lot of guys that were like, is that good enough? Is so and so ready to take that leap? Is so and so ready to put in real minutes for the Knicks this season? And that's gonna be the question. That's gonna be the question moving forward. And like I said, I don't know. I don't know. I think the bench might be a little bit questionable. I think the starting five. I think the whole idea of competing with the Celtics is right here in our faces. That's what's going on in my personal opinion. I think that's what they were planning on doing is compete with the Celtics. But at the same time, you gotta have a healthy squad. We know OG gets injured a lot. We know that Karl Anthony Towns he's missing games here and there for the past couple seasons too. So if we're fully healthy, I think the starting five is good enough. Starting five plus Josh Hart, if he's starting or not. I'm not too sure if he's starting or not. They could opt in and have Quentin Grimes take that starting position just to make sure you have an elite six men like Josh Hart to come off the bench to continue uh, something, continue anything. At the same time, I feel like they're not done, right? I feel like the Knicks are not done. I feel like the Knicks might have another trade up their sleeve. I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking to trade Mitchell Robinson sooner rather than later to get off of him if he's going to be injury prone like this, right? So the question is, can Karl Anthony Towns defend the centers and the bigs out east? Last year in the playoffs, he did a really good job when he got switched on to Kevin Durant. He did a really good job guarding Jokic at times. I think he did a solid job at it. However, that's because he had Rudy Gobert next to him also, who was also an elite defensive rim protecting big man. Now, as the sole big man, once again, is he going to revert back to how he was before the Rudy Gobert, where he was average, below average defensive rim protecting big man, or is he going to take another step and keep going with the defensive side of the ball? Not only that, now he's back getting coached under Tom Thibodeau. Hopefully, since last time, he's gotten better. That's the thought process I'm having. So the teams they run into last year, they ran into the 76ers. Can Karl Anthony Towns will Karl Anthony Towns be able to at least make Joel work for his points? Is he going to be able to make Joel work on the defensive side of the ball to where Karl Anthony Towns have just as much elite scoring and shooting like Joel does? Not the same volume, of course, but he can hit his shots and stuff, and he can get hot. The Miles Turner and well, I guess not me Miles Turner, but Pascal Siakam, is that his matchup? That could be his matchup also. Is he able to slow down Pascal Siakam and limit him? Matchup against Giannis, is he going to be able to do anything? Is he going to be effective against Giannis? Is going to be effective against Kristaps Porzingis? Is he gonna allow Bam to do whatever he wants to if they match up against the Heat? That's the question. That is the $1 billion. That's to me. That's the $1 million question when it comes to Cat on the Knicks and who they could potentially run into when it comes to the playoffs this upcoming season. You know, that's the big question mark, and that's where I'm like, okay, you make the trade, but I don't know if that was the right trade. Was that the first person they thought of? Did they ask for Rudy Gobert first, or did they just went straight to Towns? Quite honestly, that's what I wanted to know. That's exactly what I want to know. Did they go straight to Karl Anthony Towns first, or did they ask for Rudy Gobert first? Did they even try to flirt with a Miles Reed? What about any other bigs in that league? Did they call to see what's going on with Kevon Looney over there in Golden State? Did they try to call to see if they can pluck DeAndre Ayton or Robert Williams off of the Portland Trailblazers? You know, I'm just wondering how Cat be the one that they ask. My apologies, my child is running around doing whatever she wants to, of course. But that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Offensively, I think he's going to bring exactly what they want offensively. I think they're going to run a 5-out offense, is what I'm assuming. Pick and rolls with Jalen Brunson doing whatever he wants to. And Karl Anthony Towns, quite honestly, this could be an ideal to reinvent himself. Right now on my tier list, I got him as a all-star level big man that could potentially flirt with the star level potential if he push himself to do it. You know what I'm saying? When Anthony Edwards came over, he kind of just went to the side and let Edwards be the guy. So is he going to do that here too, or is he going to showcase that he could be on the same level? Is he going to be able to push towards a 25-point per game? I think he could. Like I said, I think in my personal opinion, I think Karl Anthony Towns still has the potential to be a star level player. And then playing next to Brunson, I think that would be good for those two, especially the way Brunson was playing last year and for the past couple of years since he's been in New York, including the playoffs. And then how Karl Anthony Towns been. Like I said, I think he can push that level to be a star level player next to him, at least a borderline star player. You know what I'm saying? I think that's possible. Will he do it? That's the thing. That's the thing. Will he ever do it? Like I said, this is a very interesting trade. This is a trade I didn't see coming out. This trade came out of nowhere. I was expecting we all was getting geared up for the preseasons and all this other stuff, and then we get hit with a trade. I wasn't even planning on making this video, quite honestly. I was planning on getting ready. I was planning on dropping my Derrick Rose video because his retirement. I'm still gonna do that, but Yeah, so y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section, New York Knicks fans and Timberwolves fans. Do y'all like this trade? Do you see the positive and the negatives about the trade? And long term wise, do you think this is gonna work out, or you think this is BS and this smoke and mirrors? Let me know. Let me know. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe as we get geared up for the preseasons that's coming up in October here soon. So a couple days. I think the first one is October 3rd or 4th. That's coming in soon this week. And I need to go ahead and do my top 10 per position list of the current era. But y'all let me know what's going on. Hit, like I said, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, man.